And that's because of distractions. If you carve out time to implement and say, if everything else has to stop, this is going to happen, whether it's 1 or 2 things I do a day or 1 or 2 things I do a week, and you don't allow yourself to be distracted, you can be successful. For your business to change, you have to change. So first of all, you need to keep an open mind. You need to stop clinging to the old way of doing things. I'm bad about that. I like doing things the old way. Think about new things. Think about change. You'll learn how to stop wasting labor hours this weekend. If you open your mind and just let me share some things with you. And before you dismiss them, wait till the whole weekend is over. Then if you want to go back and go, that's fine. But you'll learn how to stop wasting labor hours. And time is money. Does everybody agree? Yeah. Time is money in this business. You'll be able to pay your staff better. Who wants to be able to pay your staff better? I see a bunch of employees' hands going up. And the owners. I talk to business owners all over the world, and one of the pains on their hearts is they want to be able to pay their employees better. They want to. You know, the world seems to think that the employers are the bad guys and they're out to stab the little man. It's not true. Every business owner I've ever consulted with, it's a burden on their heart. I wish I could pay my people better. They're so good. They work so hard. I wish I could afford to pay them better, right? This is not the evil group of people that don't care about their employees. But it's hard to pay people well when the profits are so thin you can barely pay yourself. And some people aren't even paying themselves. All they're doing is paying their bills. And so there's certainly not enough to raise their employees' pay. If you leave this weekend with a way to increase the pay of your best employees, would it not be worth the whole trip right there, one thing? Or if you leave this weekend and you just stop wasting labor hours, in the course of 12 months, that's probably thousands and thousands of dollars. And if you're in business for years, we're talking tens of hundreds of thousands. You'll be able to pay your staff better. You'll be able to onboard staff quicker. So a lot of times I talk to people who say it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get an employee trained. That is too long. If you're doing it right, you can do it in 1 week. That is not the way you train. If it's taking 3 to 4 weeks to get one new employee thoroughly trained, well, for crying out loud, by the 5th week, they're already looking online for a better job, right? If they're not happy, you can't spend 4 and 5 weeks or 3 and 4 weeks to train somebody new. We need to get them trained in a week and get them out there cleaning and making money for both of you. So any one of those, would any one of those work for you guys as something you can go back and implement and change and improve in your business? So let's do it. So please be present in the moment, if you would. After this weekend, I promise you, you'll be able to train better. You'll be able to clean better. Now, some of you weren't expecting that. You were like, I know it's all about faster. And you'll be able to clean faster. You see, it's not good enough if all you do is clean faster. Right? Well, that's nice. Now we make more money. That's not good enough because we need to clean better. This is what we do for a living. We better do it well. And if speed replaces quality, this was not worth your time. Right? We can't replace quality with speed. We want them both. Who wants the best of both worlds? You want them both? You want it all? Who wants it all? Because if you do, you're going to be able to clean up. That's the whole point. I want you to clean up in every way. Yes, we do eat a lot of corn around here. So, oh my goodness. All right, so first thing that has to happen for any of this stuff to work, and please do not miss this first point, because for some of you, this is what you needed to fly out here to hear, because you couldn't hear it in your own head. The death of perfection has to stop. How many owner cleaners do we have? People who started their business cleaning the toilets, I got my hand up because that's how I started my business. Cleaning. Owners, cleaners. Guess what? We're perfectionists. And we do it right, and we do it well, and we do it better than anybody else. And we certainly do it better than anybody we've ever hired and tried to teach to take over our clients. And I talk to business owners that are desperate to get out of the field. They want to get out of the field. They're like, you know, I started my business 10 years ago, and I thought I'd be out of the field after the first year, and I'm still in the field cleaning. And they're frustrated, and they're unhappy, and that's not the plan they had. Now, if that's what you want to do, and you're a business owner and you want to do the cleaning, there's no problem with that. The problem is if you don't want to be doing the cleaning and you're still doing it. That's a problem, right? I'm not above cleaning, and I cleaned for 8 years. I loved it. I was happy as a clam. Give me a toilet brush and I am really comfortable. You know, I used to be more comfortable with a toilet brush than a microphone, but now I'm comfortable with both. But after 8 years, I decided I want out of the field. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to grow $1 million business. Of course, I didn't say that in my head at that time. I just said I want to grow my business. If you're hanging on to perfectionism, you can just forget it, because you're always going to be out in the field cleaning, or you're going to be micromanaging, or you're going to be hovering over everybody. You missed a spot. You missed this. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did this house check. There's a hair on the back of the toilet tank. I'm hearing some laughter because some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is firsthand. Perfectionism is not a virtue. It's a limitation. Please remember that, because we pride ourselves on being perfectionists. In business, it's a limitation. But you know what? Guess what? In marriage, it's a limitation. In raising children, it's a limitation. The things you fix in your business can transfer to your own personal life. If you're a perfectionist, nobody can please you, and nobody can do it right. And you can't grow and scale your business. Today, this weekend, I want you to vow there is a death of perfectionism, and it happens this weekend. Now, here's the problem. Most people think, oh, great, that means, so we got to trade this super high quality perfectionistic. Ooh, that sounds like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. We have to trade this super high quality perfectionistic standard because we have 5-star reviews and everybody says we're the best. We have to trade that for mediocrity just to succeed. That's the problem. You think it's either or. You think it's perfectionism or mediocrity. You think it's perfectionism your way, or those other services that have a bad reputation that I'm always getting their customers. It isn't an either or. There's perfectionism, there's mediocrity. Hey, let the competitors do that. And then there's excellence. Excellence. People will buy excellence. They'll pay 40, 45, 50, 60 an hour for excellence, per labor hour for excellence. Nobody will pay for perfection. Perfection is what you give away for free, because you take so much pride in your work, and you're so, I don't know what I keep doing here, you're so determined to do it right or do it yourself. You've created this standard of perfectionism that your customers have become accustomed to that would never have demanded it in the first place, and they sure won't pay for it. Oh, I'll take perfectionism as long as you don't charge me extra for it. Oh, you want to charge me extra for it? Oh, I'm happy with excellence, right? So learn that the difference, the trade-off is not perfection and mediocrity. And when you understand that, you're like, okay, we're going after excellence. And if you go after excellence, you can grow your business, you can scale your business, and if you want to get out of the field and you're in the field, you can get out of the field. Or if you're back in the field, but you're in the office, right? But you're a grunt in the office, eventually you can get yourself out of the office and spend less time micromanaging your business because you now have embraced excellence instead of perfectionism. The next thing we need to embrace, or have the death of, is procrastination. And again, us perfectionists, we're terrible procrastinators. Why? Because we want to do it right. We are all or nothing. So business gets to take off and we're nothing. We don't have time. So We procrastinate endlessly. I'm going to have a training program. I'm going to write a training manual. And you're busy booking sales and growing a business, and it never happens, and you've procrastinated forever. You're here, you got two days, and you're going to leave with a formula. There's no reason to procrastinate now. I've done it for you. Now you just need to implement. We're done with winging it. We're done with winging it. Can we have a pinky swear? Oh, I got a right hand. Pinky square. Are we done with winging it? What? We're done. We're done. Most of us are winging it in this business. And you know why? Because we can get away with it. Because if you started your business like me, out of the trunk of your car cleaning houses, you just winged it, right? Your phone started ringing, you started booking jobs, all of a sudden their friends were referring you, you never spent a dime on marketing, and your business is growing, and you don't want to turn away clients. And so instead of saying, no, I'm booked, you're like, no, I can take you on, I got to hire. We don't even have a hiring plan or a hiring process or a hiring standard, and we just wing it, right? But you don't have to wing it anymore with training. So, stop it. No more winging it. Inefficiency. This is one of the crimes of the cleaning industry. We're so committed to delivering a high quality job that we're okay with being inefficient as long as we're good. That's a problem. Because if you're inefficient, the owner is the one that suffers. You're the one that makes the tiny paycheck, or doesn't make a paycheck, or doesn't have the profit you deserve for the amount of time and energy you pour into this business. And so inefficiency has to stop. We need to elevate being efficient. A nice way of saying quick, fast, getting more done in less time. We need to elevate that to a higher level of importance. What I find is business owners are completely happy if the quality is good, and they're just hoping and praying for efficiency to just sort of happen on its own, and guess what? It does not. So then we're going to have the death of stagnation. You do not have to be stalled at the certain size or place you are in your business, whether it's profitability or size of company, revenue, staff size, clients. You can grow. You can grow past your plateau if you stop being stuck in this one area. Now there's other areas you will have to fine tune as you grow your business and scale it, but this is one huge area that will help open up that stagnation and help you grow your business again like it maybe was at one time. We also have to have the death of false assumptions. False assumptions will hold you back. I read on Facebook the other day when somebody was saying something about the speed cleaning conference, are you going or whatever, and somebody in one of the private groups, and they said, oh, speed cleaning is a type of cleaning and we don't do that type. It's like they don't have a clue what you're talking about. It's not a type of cleaning. It's a system. False assumptions. Oh, it can't be done that way. Oh, people tire out. They can't have a full schedule. How many of us have said that? Oh, they can't handle more than about 6-hour cleaning. I see them looking at each other like, I've been telling you they could do more. I can tell you. Right? We have these false assumptions. You know, oh, you can't give them too much work, so let's go put that house on somebody else. 7-8 hour day? Cleaning inside an air-conditioned house? With luxurious furniture? And marble bathrooms to go to the bathroom if you have to? And you're saying, oh, it's just too hard to give them a full day? It's your own false assumptions that hold your business back from growing. You can give people more work if you have a system for it. So I have a few rules. Accept the whole package. Don't pick it apart and go, I'll do this and I'll do that, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that. I learned that from Jeff Campbell 25 years ago. How many of you do not know who Jeff Campbell is, so that if I reference it? All right, if you're not, the cameraman. Okay, Jeff Campbell is the king of cleaning. I'm the queen of cleaning. But he handed me the baton when I bought the business Speed Cleaning. He wrote the best-selling book, Speed Cleaning. And I read that book over 25 years ago when I was cleaning houses and trying to train. And I couldn't figure out how to get anybody to clean like me. And if they did clean good enough, they were slow as molasses. I'm like, I could do this house in 3.5 hours. Why did it take you 5? Right? I read Jeff Campbell's book, revolutionized my business, and 7 years ago, I bought his business, and I bought the rights to the book, and he and I rewrote the book, and now we have Speed Cleaning for the pros. So he's my Brad Pitt. I'm like, oh, Jeff Campbell's in the room. Love Jeff Campbell. He transformed my business with a simple concept called speed cleaning. And I need simplicity. The only PhD I have is in cleaning. And if it's not simple, I probably won't grasp it. And he made it simple. He created a way to clean a house correctly from top to bottom in less time than anybody. So accept the whole package because that's what he says. And when he said it, I did it, and it worked really well for me. Don't modify anything. If you go through and start modifying the speed cleaning system, it's like, well, we do this, and we do this, and we do this. Well, we don't do that, and we don't do that, and we do this, and we don't do that. If you modify it, all you have is a little book of tips. Here, have some tips. Because your staff won't take you seriously and your must-haves and rules if you break the rules. So don't modify anything, and don't argue with the system. Just follow it, just trust it. Don't argue with the system. You know, nothing is perfect, but done is better than almost perfect. Don't tweak it. Embrace it enthusiastically. So we have two main objectives for training. And this is something I had to learn the hard way with my staff as I taught my staff how to train years ago. I didn't understand that there were two objectives to training. I thought there was one objective, teach them how to clean right, right? Honestly, I believe there's two, and this first one I think is missing in most training programs because many people don't have a training program. A training program is not, Martha, you're one of the best cleaners, will you take the new girl and show her how to clean? That's not a training program, and that's usually that's the winging it factor, right? Identify and teach are two main objectives of training. And what do I mean by that? The goal of training is to identify and keep only the best people and provide specific tools and information for those people to succeed on the job. If the identify part is not a part of the training program, here's what happens. Somebody gets through training and they are phenomenal at cleaning. Boy, she's natural. She has a knack of cleaning. And I use the word she all the time just because it's easy. I do get men clean, but we just make them. She is gender neutral in this room this weekend because it's too hard for me to constantly go he or she or he. So she can be he, whatever you want it to be. Jeff used to tease me because whenever we would teach together, he would always use he and I would always use she, and we felt like that was a good balance. But he's retired and travels all the time. And so the goal of training is to identify and keep only the best people and provide specific tools and information for those people to succeed. So you think you've hired a good one, but you don't know until they get out there in the field and work with your training manager. And if you teach your training managers, or whatever you call them, you might call them training supervisors, or you might call them team leaders, whoever is specifically tasked with doing the training. If you teach them that part of their job is to identify, did I hire the right person or the wrong person? It's not just about cleaning good. Then you can cut somebody very quickly before you invest weeks and weeks and weeks in the wrong person. And only you can set the standard for what is the wrong person. Only you can say, if I had known that in the job interview, I would never have hired her. I can't tell you what that is. I'll tell you in my company, if somebody isn't sober, if they're coming to work stoned, if they're talking about things they do on the weekend that are illegal, things they share with a training supervisor because they think it's their peer, right? They feel comfortable. They let their guard down. They wouldn't tell you that in a job interview. But if the trainer has been trained to understand that part of this is to identify when they see a serious red flag, they bring it to your attention. And that way you don't invest months or weeks of time and energy into somebody that's eventually going to steal from a client or no-show because they're always stoned. Do you see what I'm saying? So you identify, you decide what's a deal breaker for you. You decide, if I had known this, I would never have given them the job. And then you teach your trainers that there's two components to this. You identify if we made a hiring mistake, basically. Did we make a hiring mistake? Oh my goodness, did we make a hiring mistake? At one time we had a new trainee who, on her second day on the job, she was chasing those little germs that are running all over the table. She was actually a good cleaner, but she was crazy. She was a hallucinator. She was hallucinating. If the trainer didn't understand that part of her job is to identify if we had made a hiring mistake and to report that to us, then it might not have happened. She might have let her get all the way through training and never said, now she's a great cleaner, but she's crazy as a bug, right? So this is really important. Our job as the owner or the manager, whatever your role is in hiring, is to hire integrity and train skill. Most people are looking for skill, and they're hoping, wishing, and praying for integrity. We need to hire integrity and train skill. That one concept is one of the reasons that I see business owners hanging on to people who are very low integrity, but they clean good. And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. We put up with people who don't have integrity, who aren't honest, who are lying to us, who are deceiving us, who don't care about others, don't care about the clients, don't care about their coworkers, but they clean so good. You know what? You cannot fix somebody's integrity. You can't fix it. It's not your job. You're not a therapist. All you can do is train people for skill. And if you're training people for skill who have no integrity, you're investing your time and energy in the wrong person. They will stab you in the back. It's only a matter of time, because if they don't have integrity, it's just a matter of time before they stab you in the back. Would you like to delay that time after you've invested months in them and then have to fire them? Or worse, they fire you? That's worse. Somebody who's awful, who should have been fired, and they're the one that walks in and slams the keys on the desk and go, I quit. And you're like, should have fired her a week ago, right?